guys, sorry to interrupt your video. Just a quick plea, subscribe to my channel please. If you haven't done it already, subscribe. Tell your friends, subscribe. Thanks. Hello. Right, here we go. More to do with helping you with the theory test. This time on tyres. So I've been going around the theory test questions, and questions keep coming up all the time. So I've been digging around trying to find the answers to a lot of these questions for you. Now this is not a massive comprehensive sort of feedback on tyres, but it answers most of the questions that the theory test is coming up with, because they're going to get stuff and you're going to go, I don't know. So that's what this is about. What I would highlight to you is I can't emphasize enough having the right tyres on at the right time of year. You get summer tyres, winter tyres and all season tyres. Personally, on my cars I run all season tyres, so it doesn't matter if it snows or rains or whatever, it's perfect. Summer tyres are great in the summer but horrendous when temperatures get below 7 degrees, and winter tyres are fantastic in the winter but they get worn away real quick in the summer. So I personally use something that isn't quite brilliant in both but is excellent across the board. So I use all season tyres, and I can't emphasize enough to you how you should look into those for your car going forward. They are brilliant. There's loads of stuff on all season tyres. I personally use the Michelin Cross Climate, but have a dig around, okay? But anyway, I've been digging around as usual, scouring the internet, trying to find videos that answer questions for you so that you don't have to go surfing the net yourself. I've just basically bit of this video, bit of that one, mixed it all in. So remember, if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and tell your mates. All right, so here we go. Right, first one, Gem Motoring Assist. They've come up with how to check your tread, which includes the bit about what the law's stating. So let's crack on.
Your tyres are your only contact with the ground, so it's important to check they're okay, at least once a month or before a long journey. And why risk a fine of up to £2,500 and 3 penalty points for each worn tyre?
The law requires car tyres to have a minimum tread depth of 1.6mm in a continuous band around the central 3/4 of the tyre. Here's how you can check your tyres. Make sure your car is parked in a safe area, apply the handbrake and switch the engine off.
You don't need a fancy tool for a quick check, you just need one of these. A 20p piece.
Luckily, the 20p coin has a band on its design that is 2mm.
So check to ensure the band of your coin completely disappears into the grooves of your treads. This is a useful way to see if your tyre's tread depth is approaching the 1.6mm limit. You can get a clearer and more accurate reading by using a tyre tread gauge from a car accessory shop.
Even though the legal minimum is 1.6mm, here at Gem Motoring Assist, we recommend changing your tyres at 3mm depth.
Your tread depth may be fine and your tread wear may be even, but you may have scuffed a few curbs since you last checked. So carefully check the tyre for any cuts or bulges.
Take care when running your hands over tyres, especially where you can't see, as if damaged, tyres can have exposed wires that can cause injury.
Just want to highlight to you, part of the thing is you should actually feel around the back as well. She's just feeling the front face, but you should put your hands around the back and go like that, because if you hit a pothole or fall off a curb, it could easily cut the inside of the tyre, which you can never see.
If you're concerned about tyre faults or tread depth, pop into a reputable tyre centre as soon as you can, where the tyres can be checked all round and on the inside.
And let the experts check them over, while you have a coffee. Each year, Gem Motoring Assist gets over 2,000 call-outs to deal with tyre and wheel problems. So regularly doing these quick checks will help prevent you calling our help.
Thanks for watching.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Gem Motoring Assist. Right, next, 5th gear on the importance of tread depth. Now, obviously, this is a flawed experiment that they've done, but it really does highlight something too. If you read the comments down there, a lot of people are whinging about how they've done this test, and obviously it's been dramatised for telly, but it makes a good point.
Some chums at Auto Express had told us how they were campaigning for the new minimal tyre tread depth to be 3mm, not 1.6 as it is now. Why? Because their tests had found that below 3mm, stopping distances in the wet increased dramatically, in some cases by as much as 40 metres. We wanted to find out for ourselves, could a car with road-legal tyres really be so hazardous when it comes to the business of stopping? Well, we've come to a deserted East Anglian airfield to find out. We've got 2 stuntmen and 2 cars. The brakes have been checked and are fine. This test is all about the rubber. This car has been fitted with a brand new set of tyres, all with a nice full 8mm of tread. This car has been fitted with some worn, but nevertheless legal, tyres. They've got 1.8mm of tread, enough to pass an MOT, but according to tyre experts, they'll be next to useless in the wet. We're going to recreate an everyday driving scenario with live crash test dummies. With some help from the local fire brigade, we instantly have one rain-soaked road. Our 2 cars will follow each other, new tyres in front, old tyres behind. They'll be travelling at 50 miles an hour. When they hit the wet patch, the driver of the car in front will brake as if in an emergency. The driver behind will react and slam his brakes on too. But at this speed, in these conditions, the results are unpredictable. Our friendly neighbourhood stuntman, Steve Trulia, will be driving the car behind and is understandably concerned.
We've done as much maths as we can do, basically. We can't really tell now what's going to happen until we do it. We've got a wet surface as well. That, combined with the slightly thinner tyres, brings in a whole new element of something that we haven't tried before. Normally when we do stunts, we set things up and they're quite precise. This has got so many variables, our 2 speeds, at what time we both start braking, how far we are apart and everything else, that we just don't know what's going to happen until we do it. So we've just got to go and do it.
Our cars will be travelling about 3 car lengths apart. Not the recommended safe distance, but the kind of thing you'll see every day on any A road.
I have done a video about 2-second rule. Make sure you watch it.
Action, action, action.
When Steve hit, he was still travelling at 35 miles an hour. A huge impact, even with safety equipment. The amount of damage was incredible.
I think I've got fast reaction. I didn't realise how long it would take to stop. It was just too late. It all happened too late, too quick. I was amazed the car twitched a bit. It felt, with ABS, it shouldn't have done that. It should have gone in a straight line. The whole thing felt very, felt like I was on ice almost. I felt completely and utterly out of control. As soon as I put the brakes on, I felt the car go out of control. Then the back of the car was on top of me before I could do anything. The car climbed up onto the bonnet. I thought it was going to go right over the top of me through the windscreen. And it doesn't bear thinking about if this happened on a road, if you had kids in the car or something. So it's quite shocking. I'm certainly going to change my tyres more regularly and put some nice fresh ones on if it's going to make that kind of difference. And I'm going to keep my distance from other road users for definite now. It's been quite a lesson.
Remember, Steve's car had totally legal tyres. Some surveys suggest as many as 70% of cars on the road have at least one tyre that's below the recommended safe point of 3mm. Even if that's not your car, it could be the one behind you. Changing tyres at 3mm rather than 1.6 should be the law. Until it is, maybe this will act as an incentive to refresh your rubber early.
So there you go. Fresh rubber against old rubber. The more tread you have, the more it can move water out of the way. That's the whole point of tread, so that the water goes in between the grooves, squirts out the side, so that the raised bits of rubber can reach the floor and you can stop. If you don't have very much tread on a car, then the water can't rush into the gullies because there aren't any, and so if the water can't get out the way, which is the same as skimming a stone. So if you skimmed a stone across the surface of water, it hits the water can't get out the way fast enough, so the stone bounces off it until it slows down and then it sinks through the water. Same with a tyre, you've got to basically allow time for the tyre to get through the water. Now if you've got low tread, there's no way to evacuate that water out of the way. It can't cut through the water, and so therefore you just slide on the top. So that's what that's demonstrating. Now I've been over to the Asda website, the Asda Tyres. So we've already established that the legal minimum is 1.6 millimeters in the central 3/4 of the tyre around the entire circumference. That's what the theory test is asking you for, but we have also established that realistically we should start changing tyres when they get down to about 3 mil. Certainly I never go below 3 mil on any of my cars, and I used to be a skid pan instructor, so I know how to control a car sliding around. But I did also want to highlight to you that whilst you've got a decent bit of rubber, it is also very dangerous to stop suddenly because the car behind us might not be able to stop in time. So do bear in mind that looking long distance, anticipating, and always trying to, where you can, slow down over a longer distance more gradually buys time for the person behind you to see that and react accordingly, and hopefully still be within the amount of grip level that they have on their tyres. So driving up to something, suddenly stopping, suddenly accelerating, all the rest of it will lead to a crash because somebody else can't stop in time. Something else to consider.